Okay, does this work? I think I see sound coming in. Take two. That's right. Take two. Take two. Oh, goodness. I will get this figured out. You know, it works when I test it. So I don't understand once you go live. It's Murphy's Law, I suppose, in terms of how all that works. Okay. Well, let's see. Okay, good. Excellent. All right. Well, let's do this. Okay. I'll wait a minute and have more people jump over. Okay. All right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now the reposting begins. Well, I can fine tune all that later. This is the real test of life, right? It's staying mindful in moments like this when you're feeling the stress and things aren't panning out as you were hoping to. How do you deal in those moments? You know, that's the real work, because that's life, you know. All right, cool. We're in business and you guys can hear me. All right, excellent. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. I will continue to do my best to try to figure out why it works in demo mode and not in reality. So we'll figure this out one step at a time. But I appreciate you taking time to be here today. And here we are with another week. This is going on, what is it now? Week 3, I think, for Meditation Mondays. And feels really good to kind of get back into the swing of things. As I might have mentioned before, I used to lead meditation groups for years, and it was a very grounding part of my week. So I'm excited to be able to share this. Yeah, boy, isn't that true? Share this experience with you all. So let's go ahead and jump in. We'll see how long it takes for us to complete the meditation. There isn't necessarily a time frame here. It's not about time. It's about investment and the quality of what the meditation is trying to achieve, if you want to phrase it that way. If we're having topics of focus when we do meditation, if we're doing mindfulness, then it's just blissing out here in the moment and being able to practice this observer mode is what I call it. But we'll kind of spice things up. Maybe we'll have mindfulness and we'll switch that up to various topics of choice. They each have investment purposes for us to grow in various ways. It just looks different. So it'll all be from feedback of what you all are interested in. So the more feedback I get, the more I'm able to fine tune for what everybody wants. So enough of me jibber jabbering. All right, well, let's go ahead and get our body, our instrument here, to be in somewhat more of a grounded and fine-tuned state. So knowing that this is going to be a hopefully regular occurrence, I would encourage those that want to make this a regular practice to find a spot for them. I know this can be easy if you're watching it later, but in the moment, if you're coming live, there's a richness that happens, a rawness when we're all here together, literally in the moment, even though with this crazy thing of technology, we can be all over the world and still be here together. But to find a space for you, just to know that this is your little spot in your home, or if this is after work or wherever you are, that's just for you. That's just carved away for this moment, for you taking time for yourself. Many people like to use a meditation cushion. And if that works for you, obviously you're welcome to use that. Or if you would rather sit in a couch or a chair or on the floor. Again, as I always say, my only recommendation is that if you're too relaxed, then once we go into that altered brainwave state, the mind can continue to slip on that banana peel and keep going, and then we start catching some Z's. Um, so this is why they often suggest keeping your back erect as a way to find that sweet spot for you. So it's going to be very subjective in terms of how all this goes. So, okay, well, let's go ahead and switch our focus of attention now off of the video screen, paying attention to my words of instruction, and moving now more inward for a moment, just to tune in to our body, to the here and now, making an intention right from the start that we are in a transition point in our day. That up until now, we've been busy doing whatever it is that we've done. And this space we're about to enter into gives us an opportunity to settle in with our breath, settle into our moment. And for the purpose of today's meditation, to settle into our body. How many of us view the body is, funny enough, a vehicle to help get our mind from point A to point B. And in the world we live in nowadays, our body takes quite a beating. It is the repository for our stress. It can get sick or weakened from the food we eat, depending on the quality, the air we breathe, the water we drink. And yet it still functions. This incredible machine. Nothing on planet Earth comes even remotely close to the intelligence that we all carry and take for granted on a day-to-day basis. The millions of processes right now that are going on inside of each of our bodies, well beyond the surface of awareness. So times like now give us an opportunity to tune in, to reconnect with this vessel, and to work on fostering a relationship with it. And I use that word very intentionally, as a relationship takes both parties to make it work. And this is something that we're usually not taught. But our body has an intelligence to it and can also speak to us. It's, of course, subtle and intuitive, but it still exists. And yet, when we're caught in the busyness of daily life, in the noise, so much noise all around us, so much noise even within us, that this noise drowns out our ability to hear. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to listen. And then part two is then we will instruct. So first we have to turn the volume knob down on all the chatter, all the noise that happens from day to day. And making this intention a regular practice offers our body rhythm. Something to look forward to. And an opportunity, much like a pet or perhaps a child, that we can teach and train. These moments of quiet solitude and inner connection. We can both teach and train the body and the mind. Moments like this help remind us that we are not the body, nor are we just the mind. These are tools. And maintaining this proper perspective is important to maximize the life experience, the quality and the depth of what our life looks like. The word meditation means to become familiar with. In this case, we're becoming familiar with this remembrance that we are not body or mind, but we are something more. We are spirit. In modern day language, we might use the word consciousness. Bringing your attention now to your breath. And just passively following the flow. As we breathe in and breathe out. There is a rhythmic cycle. And the more that we tune to these waves, the more our brain waves settle down. Calming. Beginning to iron out these waves. Just simply observing. Now we're going to transition to a modified form of what's called a body scan. Body scan is just simply where we, just like the name implies, scan the various aspects of our body. Today we're going to tweak that a bit. We're going to give ourselves an intentional opportunity to communicate with each part of our body. Taking a moment with respect to thanking and blessing every part of our body for all of its many functions that it does on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis. Taking a moment of gratitude for all of its never-ending work. And then rolling out the welcome mat for a dialogue. If there's a point of conversation that might begin to arise, and I move on to another body point, I encourage you to put a bookmark in things, to respectfully say, let's continue this conversation in a few minutes. And then we'll provide space at the end of the scan to go back to those parts that might have something to say, or vice versa. We might intuitively feel like we wish to share something with that part. So let's begin with our feet. Starting at the bottom of our feet. Our feet are our connection with Mother Earth. Our contact point for movement, progression, moving from point A to point B. as we traverse through our day. Thanking the sole of our feet and the skeletal structure of the foot as a whole for all that it does. And if you notice sensations, whether if it's pain or otherwise, to tune into that and perhaps bring that up as a point of conversation. For now, just blessing the foot. Offering them both a moment from your heart to thank them for their functions. Moving up now to our ankles. Repeating the process here. Extending an intention of gratitude. Checking in with yourself if there's anything you feel called to say, or anything your body might wish to communicate with you. And slowly, inch by inch, making our way up our leg. Moving to our calves now. Slowly moving up to our knees. Our knees, a very pivotal hinge point in our body. Thousands upon thousands of angles moving back and forth between the lower and upper leg, all thanks to the knee. Even when we're asleep, we can still move our leg and require the function of the knee. Thank it now for its job, its dedication as best as it can to serving us. Slowly moving up our upper leg now. All of the muscles, tendons, skin, bone, fat, even judgments we might have about our legs, and of course, other parts of our body when we get there. Just simply noticing the judgment, trying to do your best if a judgment arises to move past it and focus on the leg itself. Thank it for what it does. And see if there might be a potential for healing with this judgment. Over all the years and all the thoughts that we've had about various body parts, the judgments that we make towards them. Thoughts are way more powerful than we've ever been told. And those thoughts can affect the body parts. So tonight we are offering a new message, a positive one, a one full of thankfulness and heart. Moving up to our buttocks now. Feeling the weight of our torso on our seat. Thanking this part of our body as well. For all that it does for us. Circling around now to our groin region, to our sexual organs. Offering it both gratitude as well as this intention of safety. Being the location for our first chakra as well. This theme of security, safety, and groundedness. Moving up now to our tummies. To our intestines. To our lower spine and lower back on the other side. Even to the sides of our body. Having this whole region be sent a message of love. Purposeful connection in this moment. An opportunity for dialogue. And at any point, if there are memories or perhaps emotions that come to the surface, this all becomes helpful data for us to bookmark and come back to later. Moving up now, right before our rib cage, to our stomach, to our mid-torso region, to our spinal column, to the thousands upon thousands of micro processes that are occurring in every moment on this superhighway between our body and our brain. Thank the spinal column for all that it does. Moving up to our chests now. Scanning this whole area. If there's any tension or tightness, to breathe into that, to release it. Same with our upper back. Offering gratitude for our lungs. To our heart and all of its never-ending functions. To our ability to have the awareness that the heart in particular serves a much deeper function, much deeper role than just an organ that's pumping blood around our body. This becomes the metaphysical gateway to higher consciousness. And so we bless our heart. Much like when we pet our animal and it responds with a smile or a purr or a tail wagging. When we bless our heart and we experience positive emotions, these emotions are food for the heart. Their response is a much quiet response, but one that can be measured with beautiful heart waves. Our heart rate variability becomes much more rhythmic in pattern. Moving to our shoulders now, an area that can metaphorically carry so much burden. How are your shoulders right now? Are they tight? Do they feel tired? Do you feel lifted and carefree? See if there's a message for you from your shoulders. Moving down our arms now. Underneath our arms to our armpits. To our bicep and tricep. To our elbows. Transitioning now to our forearm. Again, inch by inch, bringing this loving awareness. Kissing each inch of our skin and within our skin with our thoughts. Thanking these parts of our body for all that they do. Now to our wrists. To the backs of our hands and our palms. To each and every finger, one by one. Leaving no aspect of our skin unturned, scanning every single part, finger by finger. Thanking each for its selfless role. Moving up now to our neck. To the back of our head. Slowly scanning each hair follicle, millions upon millions, as we move from the base of our neck, slowly but surely, to the top of our head. Now to our foreheads. to our temples, to our brains, all the various aspects of this very powerful organ in our body. Thanking the brain for all that it does for us. The brain is like a radio, picking up the messages from the field. And now to our eyes. Thanking our eyes for our ability to see, to experience the world with sight. To our nose, our ability to scan the world around us with smell. To our cheeks, to our ears, allowing us to have a technicolor experience. Our ears are vibration detectors. Allowing us to pick up the world in full stereo. To our mouth, to each and every tooth, to our gums, to our tongue, to the top of our mouth, to our throats, to our vocal cords, to our chins now, and our jaw. The jaw is another very common place that people carry their tension. See what it's like for you right now to tune in to your jaw. And now we take a moment to take a step back from this experience. To zoom out and to look at our body as a whole. Thanking the entire infrastructure. How the body might be made up of individual bones, organs, sections of our body. But yet it's all one whole organism and functions as such in a symbiotic way. The whole is so much greater than just the sum of its parts. And before we transition to step 2, to take a moment and see if there's any body part that jumps out. Maybe it has something it wishes to say, or something that arose during your scan. Taking the next few moments to tune in to such an area, allowing this potential dialogue to occur. Seeing if there's a message you wish to impart, perhaps for future correspondence, or a promise. Knowing, of course, at any moment you're welcome to return and pick up this dialogue. And now that we have connected with the body in this way so far, in these intimate moments of tethering to our experience of what it's like to be in this vessel, the body is also a fantastic listener, ready to do our bidding. We are invited now to offer instructions to the body to work at more of an optimal level. And so we will begin with the immune system, our body's natural defense. Speaking to our immune systems now, giving it the go-ahead to further strengthen, to have this army of antibodies, white blood cells, and all the rest of its components to fortify itself. Its role is to keep the body healthy. And now we invite light to come into our body. structure of our DNA has recently found through science to emit light. We, as a body, emits light. By inviting light in, it allows our body to fully emit that light back. Speaking now to our DNA itself. Allowing it to perform at optimal levels. To do the job that it was intended to do. And to our stem cells. This incredible role that stem cells offer our body to recharge, to regenerate, telling your stem cells with their infinite intelligence to go to the places in your body that they are needed most, to serve their role. To allow our body now to be full, brimming at capacity with vitality and life. Allowing the body to quietly hum, to smile, to allow this body, this vessel, this vehicle to enjoy the experience of life as well. To our mind now. Just as we bless the brain, we now bless the mind. The mind is the music, and the brain is the actual radio. So we want this mind to come in sharp, clear, focused. May our attention span be long enough to serve us. May our ability to download these special thoughts that move us forward in life from the quantum field be done so in a way that serves us best. May our mind operate at full capacity. And lastly, as we begin to bring this meditation to a close, may we move to the topic of sleep. As we've blessed our various body parts, functions, and roles, offered an opportunity for communication, we now instruct all parts of the body that are involved with sleep to harmonize, to further come into alignment, that we may both fall asleep and stay asleep in tonight's transition to dreamland. And let us set an intention that when we wake up tomorrow morning, the dreams that we've had in tonight's sleep offer us insight about our life, giving us needed information to further move forward and live the most optimal life we were meant to do so as we came into these bodies. And as we bring this meditation to a close, taking a moment of gratitude now for yourself, for your willingness with all of life's never-ending distractions, to take this time right here and right now to show up for you, to befriend your body, to speak positive words over it as we get out of its way and allow it to further do what it has been meant to do. And taking one last breath in now, breathing deeply from the core, holding it for just a moment, and then releasing it. And wiggling your fingers and toes. Gently opening your eyes. And as always, if there's any questions that you might have, I'm happy to answer those. Otherwise, I appreciate your patience this evening as I continue to fine tune all this lovely YouTube technology. Uh, what was this like for everybody? Helpful? New? Something you've maybe done before or thought about? Or a brand new concept? As this week progresses, as always, my encouragement is to have something from tonight's message to take with you. And I think for this week, it is to focus on the body, to take time, perhaps daily, perhaps at least once more this week, to tune in, as I often say, from neck down, whether that's brief moments of gratitude or doing maybe even an abbreviated version of this meditation to check in with the body. Perhaps even listening to this again at some point. That there is powerful opportunity when we take time to tune into the body. And then, as we did with part 2, to also instruct the body. So play around with this. See if there might be other things that you might wish to tell the body to do, to serve you in its roles, or to open that welcome mat and roll it out for ongoing discussion. Okay, sounds like this was helpful. Excellent. All right, all, thank you for being here with me this evening. I hope you all have a blessed week, and we'll see you next Monday. Okay, bye for now.